You just heard me play an example solo using box position 4 in the key of E. So welcome back to the channel. We are now on lesson 10 in our series, The Blues in 5 Boxes. And yes, that's right, we're doing box position 4 in the key of E. So the way the lesson's going to work, you've already heard the solo. I'm going to pull all the licks apart and show you them one by one. But before I do, I just want to quickly recap box 4 and talk about it in the key of E. So we can easily find box position 4 in the key of E. We find our E minor chord on the neck using this shape. And it sits kind of right underneath that. So it's right there. So if you play the box, you look at the chord, you can see kind of how, you know, it kind of fits right under that chord. So a couple of things about it, first of all, before we get into the licks. So we've got the root note here. And I want to talk about which finger we play that, whether we play it with this finger or this finger. And there's even one lick where I play it with this finger. But generally, it's a choice between this one and this one. And the reason is because when we're playing kind of what I'll call the bottom half of the box, it neatly fits under the ring finger. And you can then play this note here, which is the minor third. You can do that with your middle finger. But if we play it like that, it does kind of leave it a little awkward to play this note here with our little finger. What we tend to do is play this note here with our ring finger. But then when we go to the bottom part of the box, we want to use our ring finger. So when I was preparing this lesson, I was thinking about this. I don't have a set rule or anything. I've done this so much now, my fingers naturally move depending on where I'm going. And I don't even think about which finger I'm using when hitting that note. It just kind of naturally happens that I auto adjust for whatever lick I'm going to play next. So if I'm going to play this, my fingers will naturally fall to that shape. But if I'm playing, actually you just saw it there, my fingers just naturally move. So I started playing ring finger, ended playing index finger. Okay, so let's get into the licks. This lesson, I will admit, there's a couple of licks which are quite a bit tricky. When I was learning this afterwards, they were a little bit hard to get into. But I'll break them down and make them as easy as I can for you. Okay, so yeah, we're playing over a B7 to A7 to E7 as our little intro, and then a B7 again before we start proper. Same intro, it's a chord progression intro we've had in all these lessons. It starts with lick 1. Lick 1, I will be honest, is probably the hardest lick in the whole piece, but I'll take you through it. Here it goes, up to speed. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. Okay, there's a lot of notes in there. And what makes this a little bit tricky is it starts with triplets. 1 and a, 2 and a. Okay. So you get that nice kind of swing feel. Then you get the bends. And then a time swaps from going from triplets to 16th notes. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. So you get this passage afterwards. So you go from a nice swing to something faster and more straight. So the way, when I came to learn this, I broke it up into those 3 sections. You got the triplet section, and then you got the bends. And that last section, I just treat it all as one. What would that be? And the only thing in there is when you hit that bend, you kind of hold it a little bit, otherwise you're just playing every note pretty quick. Okay, so I'll take you through the whole lick nice and slow. But yeah, that's kind of the way I had to learn it in those 3 sections. So start with the triplets. I'll play it all the way through nice and slow. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, yeah, the tab's there, tab's available, break it down into those 3 sections, and it just takes a bit of practice to get it there. Okay, so that was lick 1, that got us over the B7 to A7 to E7 chords. Now we're on lick 2. Lick 2, you'll be grateful, is an awful lot easier, and it goes like this. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And nice and slow. Okay, we're over a B7 chord there. So we're emphasizing this note because that's a B. So that's the kind of the 5th in the chord, and that kind of sits nice there. Okay, then we're up to lick 3. Lick 3 again is a tricky one, probably the second most difficult lick in the whole lesson, and it goes like this. Okay, that's it up to speed. Again, break it down into little pieces is kind of how I had to learn it. I'll take you through it nice and slow, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so it starts with this slide in, and then we get this. So you'd have seen this in quite a few of my solos now. We hold down with our index finger, and we're going to hammer on and pull off as one move. Okay? So the first section I would learn would be this. That. So take it slow and build it up. Okay, and then the second section will go like this. Nice and slow. Notice whenever I'm hitting that note there, I'm giving it a nice, pulling it out of tune before resolving. Okay, so that was lick 3. Lick 4 now, we're coming in over the A7 chord. And we've got this little move here. I meant to say this in the intro section to this actually. One of the cool things about box position 4 is you get this. That little figure there, whether we do them as a double stop or whether we play them individually and then resolve to the root, that move, that little shape is so cool, and you don't really find that in other box positions. It's something a bit unique about box position 4. Anyway, I utilize that in lick 4. So lick 4 goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so nice and slow. Actually, that last note, I think in the actual solo, I cut it off dead. So it was more like that, I didn't let it hang. It's hard to get those little nuances right when you're teaching this. Okay, so that brings us up to lick 5. Lick 5 uses that shape again, but then does something a little different. It goes like this. Okay, nice and slow. Okay, then we're up to, where are we up to? Lick 6. Lick 6 goes like this. Nice and slow. Oh, sorry, that last note was a little sharp. I'll do it again. Lick 7 then goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And nice and slow. Here we go. Start with this hammer on. Okay, then lick 8, probably the easiest lick in the whole piece. That goes like this. Nice and slow. Okay, and then we get lick 9. I'll be honest, lick 9 is probably my favourite lick in the whole piece. We're going to that different position with our fingers. We're going to start with our ring finger, starts with a pull off, and it goes like this. How does it go? 1 Anna, 2 Anna, 3 Anna, 4 Anna. And nice and slow. Okay, one more time, really slow. Okay, so then we're up to lick 10. Lick 10 is quite a long one, it's got a lot of bends in it. It goes like this. Here we go. 1 Anna, 2 Anna, 3 Anna. Okay, there's a lot in there. I'll take it nice and slow. It starts this little run as like a bit of an intro, and then we get the bends. And what we're going to do is we're going to go bend. So 1 and 2 and 3. So we do that for basically 4 bars. Sorry, for 2 bars, 4 times each bar. So 8 times in total, except the last one, we don't pick this note here. We don't pick that. Instead, what we do is we bring the 10 down and then hit 9 twice. Like that, okay? So I'll take you through the first section nice and slow. Here we go. And then the last little piece just goes like this. Okay, so you just tag that on the end. So I'll do the whole thing through nice and slow. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and Okay, lick 11 then. This is we're now over a B7. We're gonna walk down to this note here. Because we're over the 5 chord and it's our 5 note. So that's gonna go like this. Here we go. 1 Anna, 2 Anna, 3 Anna, 4 Anna. Okay, and nice and slow. Okay, and then we're into lick 12. Lick 12 goes like this. 1 Anna, 2 Anna, 3 Anna. Okay, so nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and Okay, there it is. That's all the licks. There's some tricky ones in there. I've tried to break them down as easy as I can. Hope you enjoyed this. We're coming back next time. Next time will be lesson 11, which I think will be box 3 and 4, sliding between those 2 boxes. A slightly easier lesson in A next. Okay, I'm going to leave you with an alternative solo, a different improvisation using box position 4 in the key of E. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. Take care. I'll see you soon.